What haven't I talked about? Clubbing. Yeah. Clubbing in Korea is great. I could tell you all about. I'll say 4 spots. So
if you only like Korea for the K-pop or K-drama, if you like BTS only and want to come to Korea, I would say no, like stay in your country.
So you said you don't speak Korean. How do you cope with the language barrier here?
I bring my friends who know how to speak Korean. You know how Google Translate has that option when like taking photo?
Oh yeah.
Use that. Well, I know how to say like 한개 주세요. That's all. Like I've never gone out alone. So
a lot of Koreans speak English. In my mind, I'm like I should speak Korean, but I don't want to mess it up.
Right.
It's a lot of hands going on.
Yeah,
like,
hand gestures and
이거
stuff.
주세요.
이거 주세요.
Like one, please.
I could have basic dialogue and I like studied for about a year before coming. I think that helped me a lot. Just so that you could have like, you know, just day-to-day conversation. If you try to speak in Korean first, I think that just gives a better impression. It's like you're trying, and I think they see that.
I've had some trouble during the first days because I didn't know how to get on with not knowing the language. Now I know a few words, but I'm still I didn't advance that much.
So I think with language, I have it a little better because I have been learning Korean for 3 years. But I think sometimes I do get confused when I'll start speaking Korean and then they'll say something I don't know and it gets a little confusing. But as long as you like push yourself to speak Korean, it works.
I've learned some Korean. I didn't study as much as I should have.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. But yeah, I can say like I can order restaurants. I can count. Just
Okay.
like bulgogi 주세요.
Oh, not bad.
I'm not very good at listening, so that's been quite difficult for me. Like online, a lot of people say like, "Oh, if you go to Korea and you don't speak any Korean, that's okay." And I don't think that's as true as people say it is. And if you go anywhere like outside of Seoul, like I went to Daejeon. If I was not with a Korean person, it would not have been good because there's no English whatsoever.
Do you think Koreans are good at English?
No, I wouldn't say that. I'd say an average European speaks a bit better English than an average Korean.
You know, they kind of have to learn English at some point,
Right.
like in their basic level. So I think at least the younger generation does have some type of knowledge.
Probably older people. Yeah, it's kind of hard to like, but like we don't really need to like have a conversation with them.
I think they're very shy for using their English skills because when I don't know, I'll be like, 다시 한번 말해주세요. Like, and they'll like say something in perfect English, and I'm like, oh my goodness, why am I speaking my broken Korean this whole time? But like the ajumas and the ajashis, like they just kind of. Like, they're just kind of,
they don't know.
Which is understandable.
I think in general they are. I know they've studied English for a very long time. They might just be hesitant to speak in English to you, but I think they're pretty good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think they're very good at English. The majority of the people that I've met can speak some sort of English.
Compared to your country, how is living in Korea in terms of, you know, transportation or living cost, things like that?
Because I live in Australia for 7 years, so like I think I'm gonna compare it to Australia. It's a lot cheaper here.
The first thing that came to mind when you said that was the buses. Crazy. The buses are crazy. Like the bus
What do you
drivers.
mean by crazy?
Oh my god, the bus drivers. If you're not holding onto something, you're going to fall.
Really?
Yeah, like it's super fast for me. Like
Really?
I can't do it. Like I have to be sitting down, holding onto something. Like it's super.
Oh my God.
Like shaky and stuff.
Oh.
It's crazy.
Okay.
Overall, it's cheaper than the States.
Right.
Because like here, I could get a meal with like $5. If you know how to work yourself, your money, it's not like super expensive. But if you're here to like travel around, then you're going to spend money.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, overall, it's pretty good.
The living costs are kind of similar unless you look for cheaper places.
You could find a decent price if you want to live in like a Goshiwon or like.
Oh shit! Why would you live in those though?
Because
Are there people that
you just
live
need to
in there?
sleep there.
I mean, like you have friends that live there?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Or I feel like if you're okay with living in a small space, it's not that bad. But if you want to like, you know, live nicer,
like a human being.
I think then maybe I think housing expenses here are probably more expensive.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I live in the dorms.
Thank
It's
God.
not the best either.
So living in Korea is definitely a lot more convenient and there's a lot more to do. It's also easier to get around than where I'm from in America just because you have to drive everywhere. Even though I do miss driving, It's just there's so much more to do and explore, and it's not cheaper, but it's about the same as where I'm from.
Korea is a bit more expensive than my home country, but compared to Western European prices, it's very similar. And of course, some things are more expensive, some things are less.
Living costs, like just like basic rent, I feel is pretty similar actually, but I feel like everything else is cheaper here, especially food when it comes to eating out. Back home, I usually cook more, but here I almost always eat out because it's so much cheaper. When it comes to transportation, I feel like it's very smooth here. Like there's a lot of options, but like the buses stop running so early, which is so weird to me. Because I feel like this country, like the city in general, it's always open.
Right,
there are always things open, which is really convenient. Because at my hometown, if you want a snack after 11, you're screwed.
Oh, okay.
But here, it's like the convenience stores are always open.
Okay. Do you think Korea is a safe place?
Absolutely. As far as like people like you shooting at you and stuff like that.
Well, would you feel safe if you like walk around at 2 a.m. in the morning?
Oh, absolutely. As long as I'm on like a busy street, absolutely nothing to worry about.
Yes, I do. Like, I do not feel
Have
in
you-
danger.
Uh-huh.
Super quiet, which at first was kind of like, it's a little creepy. But then you just get used to it. Like, if you're in a club, sometimes it gets a little weird with like some guys that come up to you and like are very persistent. But other than that, if you're like with friends, you should be fine. It's super safe here. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Really?
It's so safe here. You could leave your laptop at a coffee shop and like go somewhere else and go eat and then come back and it's still there.
I thought Canadian people were like the nicest people in
Well, they'll just take it and then say sorry. It's like sorry and then take away.
Oh, definitely.
Really?
It's the safest place I've ever been. I haven't felt safer anywhere. I left my laptop at the library and I'm not worried about it at all.
Right now?
Yeah.
You can actually go out until like 12, until the last subway, and you feel safe still. Because I feel like everyone's out during that time still, so you don't feel alone.
I do think Korea is a safe place just because I've been out late in Korea for a couple nights and it has been pretty safe. I'm not worried about anything. Whereas in the US, it is a little more dangerous to be out that late, or just like a little more dangerous in general just because of gun laws and gun issues and just more higher crime rates. I've probably been out till like 6 a.m.
6 a.m. Okay.
Once, just once.
Okay.
How's the food going for you?
It's great.
Really?
Yeah. Also, food here is so cheap. Like quality food. Like good food is cheap. What I've noticed is that like drinks and desserts are not.
Oh yeah. Like, coffee
like
versus-
a coffee could be more expensive
yeah.
than food,
I
which
think-
I was very
I
surprised.
think it's like generally what women like.
Oh.
It tends to be more expensive because they're willing to spend more money.
Yeah.
Men are cheap, so they just eat shitty foods at cheap prices.
Yeah. But I love dessert, so oof.
I can only eat like sundubu jjigae, squid, rice thing.
What?
Some things are a little bit too spicy for me. Like tteokbokki, I can only eat a little bit, but I don't have a problem, and I think Korea has a lot of really good food.
Tteokbokki,
Tteokbokki.
because I'm basic.
Isn't it like spicy for you?
No. I'm from the state that made Tabasco sauce.
Okay. What do you like and dislike most about Korea?
I guess what I like the most is the transportation. The train.
You're really into transportation.
Yes. Like the trains here are like so smooth, and the cars, oh my god. The drivers are crazy, but the way the cars feel is like super smooth, and it's gonna be super weird, but like there's a lot of cute things here that you just don't get in the state. Places here, when you go to like a street, they all seem so cluttered. Like there's just so much.
Oh, yeah.
Like in one building there will be like 6 things. Just looking around, you don't know what to get, you don't know where to go. If you know what you want, it's not that bad, but that's just something like that was like a shocking thing when I came here. Like it was just so hard to
So
look
it's
around.
kind of like overwhelming.
Yeah, because there was so many things in like one place.
Okay.
How things are still open until late night because we don't have that in Australia. And what I don't like from Korea, I somehow feel like I'm really different just because everyone looks the same.
What do you like the most about Korea?
I think we just talked about all of it. What haven't I talked about? Clubbing. Clubbing in Korea is great. I could tell you all about. I'll say 4 spots. So
Okay.
we're near Yonsei University, so you need to go to Sinchon. If you want to go to like Damotori,
Damotori.
so fun.
Yeah.
Like bars, food, you go like for different rounds.
Yeah.
Then I feel like the other three major like clubbing is Hongdae. That's more like, you know, like hip hop, EDM,
Yeah.
cool kids. Gangnam, that's like
That's like-
expensive. Not my favorite. I felt very comfortable in Itaewon. Like a lot of open-minded people,
Yeah.
a lot of foreigners, and just so many different variety of clubs and
Exactly.
bars, and I love it.
What-
My taste is really niche.
Yeah.
I like soap.
I
Have
go
you
to
been
Seoul a lot too. Yeah.
Go to
What do you
Seoul.
dislike about Korea the most?
Maybe okay. Shopping here, it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It's so great
Uh,
because they're so innovative.
Yeah.
But if you don't buy it on the spot and you go back the next day,
It's
it's
gone.
gone. I'm the type of person that needs to think about it.
Uh,
And they don't give me time to think about it. It's
Shit.
go, go, go. That's very much the culture here too.
I like the difference the most. How it is different from the place I grew up in. I wouldn't like stress one thing out. I really enjoy their passion for their culture, K-pop, drama, and all the other things. I really love the architecture, that there are so many old buildings here. I really like the people themselves when you get to know them, yes.
okay. And what do you dislike the most about Korea?
I'd say the strict educational system gets me. Koreans start studying hard even in primary school, middle school. Education back home really is a way to show the world around, not the world strict by the book.
There's always something to do, and I think the people are really close-knit. And that's really great because you can tell that Koreans have like each other's back, and it's like a community. What I probably dislike is just like it's hard to get to know them a little. They come off a little colder. That's just like how it seems, and it probably isn't really like that.
I really like that there's so much to do and see, and like you can't really be bored. But also like the mixture here of like old and new, like the city. Things I dislike, there are no trash cans. It's so hard to find trash cans.
I agree.
I hate that.
Yeah, I hate that too.
You don't really use salt in the food here.
Salt.
Yes, I miss salt so much.
Really? I think Korean food is really salty.
Not being able to get like American goods and things like that. If I see like jelly beans in the convenience store, I'm like, oh yes, something that I know, and it turns out to be 5,000 won. But my favorite thing about Korea is like, especially like Seoul, like how easy it is to like go to like different places, and like this is the place for fashion, and then this is the place for really good food, and like this is the place for like clubs, and like you can go to these like little mini worlds in Seoul. And
You have any tips or messages that you want to say to the viewers who would probably like to come to Korea one day?
If you only like Korea for the K-pop or K-drama, if you like BTS only and want to come to Korea, I would say no, like stay in your country.
If you're planning to come here, save up. I feel like you should learn basic Korean terms and stuff before coming here. Just you shouldn't expect them to speak to you English all the time or whatever your language is. I think it's nice to just know basic cultural things that you should and should not do, especially because there's a lot of like formal and informal things here, like just bowing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know.
be very open-minded. I studied books and watched videos and things like that, and I thought I knew like Korea before I came. I came here, realized that a lot of what I thought I knew is not true.
Try to be open-minded and adapt yourself rather than like hating on differences. Embrace them, I guess. Koreans are usually pretty shy when it comes to talking to foreigners.
Right.
A lot are very insecure in their English, even if they're good at it. And Koreans are crazy when it comes to drinking. That's good to know.
That's true. That's true.
Definitely come to Korea. Just so far, I've had a really good experience. Don't be like scared of like broadening your horizons or what you've heard from like other people, because everyone's experiences again are different, and it's really what you make it.
Especially if you're from the United States, Europe, or some part of Western world, it's a really nice place to be, as it's very different and you get to experience the culture a lot. Don't be afraid to make some friends.
Come. Like, come here and have a great time. Oh, go to Hongdae, watch busking. It's so fun. Come watch me busk. Come watch me.
What do you do?
I busk.
Oh, you dance?
Yeah, come.
Okay.